what is the difference between competitive inhibition and non-competitive inhibition? Now, an enzyme inhibitor can be defined as a substance that binds with the enzyme and brings about a decrease in catalysis. Under normal conditions, the substrate would bind to the active site of the enzyme, and then the reaction would occur and product molecules are generated. Now, in competitive inhibition, the structure of the competitive inhibitor is quite similar to the structure of the substrate. They are often termed as substrate analogs. So the inhibitor competes with the substrate and binds at the active site of the enzyme. But the inhibitor does not undergo any catalysis. So as long as the competitive inhibitor is bound to the enzyme, the active site of the enzyme cannot bind to the substrate. So in this type of reaction, both enzyme substrate and enzyme inhibitor complexes are formed. Now, in non-competitive inhibition, the substrate can bind to the enzyme even if the inhibitor has bound to the enzyme. So the binding of the inhibitor does not affect binding of the substrate. Therefore, formation of both enzyme inhibitor and enzyme inhibitor substrate complexes is possible. But even though the enzyme inhibitor complex can bind the substrate, the efficiency of this complex getting transformed to a product is decreased. Also, these non-competitive inhibitors, they bind the enzymes at sites other than the active site. That is why the substrate is able to bind at the active site. And also, these non-competitive inhibitors bear no structural resemblance to the substrate.